So today I'm focusing on a gourmand fragrance, which means in French kind of food-related, sweet sort of, sweet perfume, which is La Vie Est Belle by Lancome. This one was sent to me by one of my delightful followers, Douglas Lafreniere. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is an interesting fragrance for several reasons. So it came out in 2012, so it's still pretty new. And if you notice an example of what the bottle looks like on the inside, apparently this bottle was remade, inspired by one of the original Lancome bottles from 1949, which is interesting. Nice kind of callback to the days past. Now, this is, according to the card, it says the first tasty iris, which is an interesting description for this little vial. Lancome has been around for a very long time, a Parisian French perfume brand. I can already smell how sweet this is. La Vie Est Belle means life is beautiful. This perfume was created as this kind of celebration of life and joy and, just enjoying the little things that life has to offer. And I'm curious about this fragrance because I've heard a lot of things about it. It's super popular. It's been super popular. And from what I hear, a lot of people have enjoyed this. So I will put some on my wrist here. And so that's like a burst of kind of food and like foodie notes and fruit notes. And so the top notes, according to this list in front of me, are black currant and pear. So black currant is a very jammy, fruity, rich, sticky, sweet sort of note. And that's probably the first thing that I'm detecting here. The pear is a bit definitely subtle. You're not going to get a crisp pear note here. This is more blending in with that black currant. I've had black currant, it's delicious. It's definitely really sugary, really, like I said, jammy. It's usually jam consistency. And the iris is also delicious. The middle notes are iris, jasmine, and orange blossom. And I would say the iris and the orange blossom are the strongest here. And I love iris. That's one of my favorite floral notes. It has that kind of a sweet, almost buttery, creamy sort of, sweetness naturally. And the orange blossom also is naturally very, very sweet. And that's really reflected in this fragrance, and it pairs really nicely with the black currant. And the base notes are praline, vanilla, patchouli, and tonka bean. So the praline is also a very, very obvious note, and that it's just this sweet dessert, caramel, sugar delight. And the vanilla is also a very sweet, sugary, fluffy vanilla. And then the patchouli and the tonka bean is definitely present. Tonka bean can take on a variety of scents. Sometimes it's leathery, sometimes it's nutty, sometimes it's like sweet, dried fruit. In this case, I would say it's definitely along the lines of the sweet, dried fruit variety, to add to the sweetness, but still giving it a bit of a foundation. It grounds these other notes. And the patchouli is a bit on the subtle side. It adds a bit of complexity, but it's definitely not going to show through these stronger notes here. Now, I can see why this perfume is very popular because it's extremely feminine. When you think of a female perfume, this smell is what I would think of. And I think it's probably what most people would think of when thinking of a woman's perfume, especially modern woman's perfume. It's sweet, it's light, it's a little bit like fluffy, kind of creamy, and it's very strong, surprisingly. Longevity is definitely moderate to long lasting. I would say, according to my research, it's around 8 hours. I would definitely say 8 to 9 hours is a really good indicator of this fragrance. And it does do a good job of evolving the longer a person wears it, because when you first put it on, you get this burst of really sweet blackcurrant along with the praline. Just super sugary. Then, like even now, I'm getting way more iris, which is a bit lighter, still sweet, but definitely lighter and, smoother. And as it continues to evolve, I imagine it will become stronger with the tonka bean and the patchouli. So I already like that it's a very long-lasting fragrance, because I can't stand fragrances that you put on and it disappears within the hour. This is different. This is definitely, it's gonna stick with you. It has that sticky, sugary, kind of candy almost sort of fragrance. And the sillage, I would also say, is moderate to strong. If you put on a lot, it could definitely fill up the room, get plenty of attention. And it's very unique. Again, I can see why this is popular. It's a very kind of, once you smell it, you know what it is. I haven't come across any fragrances that smell too similar to this yet. It does share a few similarities to Baccarat Rouge 540, but Baccarat Rouge is far less sweet compared to this. This would not be a scent for those who don't care for sugary notes, because this has very strong sugary notes. But if you like sugary notes, this is perfect, because that's pretty much all this is. And those sugary notes kind of oscillate and evolve, and the iris swoops in, the tonka bean swoops in, so this kind of delightful mix of different sweet notes to create this very sweet and feminine yet elegant sort of fragrance, which is all very nice. And it's also long lasting, so that's an extra bonus there. And overall, it's a great fragrance for women, and it's definitely a very, as the card says, tasty iris. That's definitely, I could see what they mean now. Very pleasant, very pleasant. And the iris note is probably my favorite part of this fragrance. So that's pretty much all I have to say about La Vie Est Belle from Lancome. If you have any opinions about this fragrance, you can leave those down in the comments below. Leave a like if you liked the video, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.